They did not marry in abundance. They married inside hunger. When Lukman brought Nefisat into his father's compound, there was no music loud enough to wake the village. No cow fell under a knife. No wrappers were shed like rain. What followed them into marriage was poverty. Thin, stubborn poverty that clung to the skin like harmattan dust. Some nights, Lukman and Nefisat slept after drinking only water. Some mornings, they argued quietly over who would eat the last cup of garri. Nefisat learned early how to stretch nothing into something. She sold small things, pepper, salt, soap. She borrowed with shame. She walked long distances to save transport money. When Lukman lost hope and sat staring into space, wondering if he had failed as a husband already, Nefisat became hope for two people. On such days, she said nothing. She only tightened her wrapper and went out again. When the rent was due, Nefisat found a way. When the light bill came, Nefisat begged and paid. When food finished, Nefisat reduced her own portion. She never reminded Lukman. She never counted her sacrifices aloud. And then, slowly, God opened the door. Not a big door, just one opportunity. A friend remembered Lukman. The friend, Musa, spoke his name somewhere important. A job came, not glamorous, but steady. The kind of job that changes breathing patterns in a house. Money began to enter small. Shoes were bought, clothes improved. Lukman started standing straighter. Nefisat was still there. But money does something strange. It does not only improve life, it introduces voices. At work, Lukman met men who spoke differently. Men like Kabiru, Yusuf and Bello. Men whose laughter was loud, whose phones rang with confidence. Men who talked about wives the way one talks about cars. 2 wives is peace, Kabiru would say. 3 wives is wealth, Yusuf would add. A man with 1 wife is still learning, Bello laughed. Lukman listened. At first he laughed. Later he thought. One evening while eating, Lukman mentioned it casually as if discussing weather. Nefisat, I'm thinking of taking another wife. Nefisat did not shout. She did not cry. She only asked one question, softly. When we had nothing, when hunger slept with us, why didn't you marry her then? So all of us would suffer together. Lukman frowned. I am a man, he said. The law allows me. If I can take care of them, what is the problem? Nefisat nodded. And when I was the one working, feeding children, paying rent, settling bills, why didn't you marry her then? So she would help me carry the load. Lukman stood up, anger rising with pride. He grabbed his car key and drove out. That night, something died quietly between them. For a while, the talk of a second wife faded. Life improved. Lukman bought a house. He bought Nefisat a car. He opened a big business for her. Outwardly, peace returned. Nefisat knew Lukman had other women outside. She pretended not to see them. They are outside, she told herself. As long as nobody enters my house. But seasons change. The second wife talk returned. This time, serious. This time, prepared. Nefisat knew this was no longer noise. This was a decision already made. So she planned silently. She told Lukman she needed to travel, to get better suppliers, better contacts for her business. The goods she was receiving were no longer good enough. Lukman agreed. Nefisat traveled far, to places where stories are older than maps. She met the first spiritualist, Malam Goni. I don't want to stop him from marrying another wife, Nefisat said. I only want shame to answer him. Malam Goni gave her something to add to his food and a cream. When he sleeps with you, his strength will return, he said. But with others, nothing. She kept it. She met the second spiritualist, Baba Sani. He gave her a bathing preparation. Same instruction. She met the third spiritualist, Sheon Kolo. He gave her a bracelet. Hang it to your matrimonial space, he said. No stranger will prosper there. She met the fourth, Alhaji Danjuma. "This work is simple," he said. "Bring me a point of contact." Nefisat printed Lukman's picture from her phone. All was done. Back home, she hid everything among her beauty products. Creams inside creams, powders inside powders. Nothing looked strange. The children never entered her room. 3 months later, Lukman married again. The second wife's name was Zainab. Young, beautiful, hopeful. That was when confusion entered the house. Whenever it was Zainab's turn, Lukman failed, again and again. With Nefisat, everything worked normally. Doctors saw nothing. Hospitals found nothing. Friends whispered. Kabiru took Lukman to a spiritualist, Baba Lawal. The verdict was short. "Your first wife locked this door." Panic entered Lukman. He called an emergency family meeting. His elder brother Sule, his uncle Alhaji Rahman, Zainab's people and Nefisat family were invited. Accusations flew. Zainab cried. Nefisat did not attend. She went to her shop and sat there quietly. When Lukman threatened her, she sent him one message. "Do not try anything funny, Lukman. If you do, then this is only the beginning." The family had to move the meeting to Nefisat's shop. The elders begged. They pleaded seriously for her forgiveness. Finally, Nefisat spoke, not in anger but in tiredness. "I will remove it," she said. "But what is broken will never return whole." The lock was undone. Lukman's strength returned, but his name did not. Zainab left the house quietly, carrying shame she did not aim. Friends stopped joking with Lukman. At work, laughter died when he entered. Men no longer asked him about wives. And from that day on, when elders warned young men, they said, "Do not forget the woman who ate hunger with you," because some doors, when reopened, still smell of rots.